Right. Hello, IG fam. This is Thursdays on Point. For those of you who are new here, we are the show that talk about personal and business development. And tonight, the topic is about nonprofits and initiatives. My beautiful guest for this evening is someone extremely special to my heart, someone I hold dearly deep inside, and the founder of Truth Be Told, Yara Sayer. Yara, how's it going?
Everything is great. Thank you, Karen, for having me here tonight. This is my first live interview, so I'm really excited for it. Finally, we get to spread awareness about Truth Be Told and what we've been up to. We've been working on the ground for the past few years, and you're the first person to host live, so I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm actually really happy that you're joining me tonight because I'll be honest with you. I found this topic to be somewhat challenging to me, so I feel like some growth is happening there also for me. So big thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
And I was wondering, would you like to just lightly introduce who you are, Yara?
Okay. So, hi, everybody. My name is Yara Sayer. I did my undergraduate at AUB. I focused mainly on political studies, human rights, transitional justice, social and political thought as my minors. I ended up doing my master's in NYU, the New York University, in global affairs with multiple concentrations as well, international relations and global futures, transnational security, as well as human rights and transitional justice and national law.
All right,
So,
I'm gonna slow you down. I'm gonna slow you down, all right? Because you just answered half my questions, and I do need some content for this evening, Yara Sayer. All right, so before we start, this is a quick disclaimer. Quick disclaimer, whatever you see or hear on this show is not legal, life, business, or financial advice. All right, Yara. So I want to start our evening with a quick icebreaker I've prepared for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready for this.
All right. So the icebreaker is a game, and it's called Cop or Drop. All right?
Okay.
I'll explain. I give you a situation, and you can either cop it or you can drop it. All
Okay.
right? Are you down? Are you
I'm,
down to play?
I'm ready for this.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this, Yara. All right, Yara. So here's the situation. Becoming the most successful person in the world, but letting go of your favorite hobby.
Cop.
Cop? You're crazy. Okay.
Because my hobby, my success, actually. This, truth be told, is my favorite hobby, so I cop it.
So you take it. You take it.
I take it because my becoming successful is through truth be told, and it
All
happens to be
right.
my hobby, so I wouldn't have to drop it to become successful.
I see what you did there. I see what you did. You're going witty on me tonight. All right, all right, all right, all right, Yara. Bring it on. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. My second situation, becoming the founder of the biggest nonprofit, but never having any leisure for yourself.
Cop. My
You're
leisure, my
crazy.
happiness is doing things for my country, for my people, for the world later on. This is my happiness. This is my leisure. Day and night, truth be told, I take my laptop with me everywhere. Everywhere. Today, I had a visit. I took my laptop with me. Work is work. The world doesn't
Dude,
work.
honestly, I know you on several levels, and I'm actually happy that you're showing this side of you, that I'm able to show this side of you to people because honestly, this is going to come up later on. I'm not going to ruin it right now, but I do know that you're somewhat crazy. So let's just, and I love it. I personally love it. I love this wild hunger you have to just go at things that you want. So I really appreciate it. All right, Yara. So our third situation. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So suddenly forgetting everything that happened in your past, but having an amazing future.
Drop. What
Drop?
my past is what made me who I am today, and everything that happened, the good and the bad, led me to where I am right now and is going to lead me to my future.
I
So I
appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. All right, Yara. So my last question for you in this game is becoming the president of the world and leading it to a great direction, but not having any single friend.
cop. I'll
Cop?
take
Oh my God, you are crazy. All right,
it.
man. All right, all right. All
Good.
right.
That's the goal.
All right. All right. So let's get into it. Let's
Let's
do
get
it. Yara, please explain to me and everyone what is Truth Be Told?
okay. So, Truth Be Told is an initiative that started in 2018, actually. It was based on my master's thesis about transitional justice in post conflict communities. Post conflict communities usually are the communities that experienced war, human rights abuses, negligence by their governments, disasters and epidemics that could be natural or man made.
So like
So,
Lebanon.
literally, Lebanon. And my
Okay.
the thesis actually was Lebanon at the time. And
Wow.
I was working towards was how to make Lebanon a better place for its people, how to transition from all the wars, all the crimes against humanity. And unfortunately, after 2018, there was also an explosion that was experienced, a revolution that is still ongoing. So this was something that was the focus. However, truth be told, in 2018, had a short-term vision, and it was just for people to be able to tell their truths. However,
Right.
so the long-term vision, which is what Truth Be Told is established for now as a nonprofit, it operates upon three mechanisms. The first mechanism is testimonials, which is still transitional justice. It's a way of people telling their truths. So it's kind of like an unofficial truth commission where people get to tell their stories, explain whatever human rights abuses they experienced, disasters,
Wow.
and sort of give their testimonial of it. Then there's
Wait,
the
let
second,
me let me
yeah.
ask you something real quick. So you say testimonials. Is it only relevant to like any post-war testimonials, or could it be, I don't know, from issues, I'm just gonna say it, like rape to issues of abuse, or is it just mainly focused for post-war and post-trauma regarding I think you understand what I'm going, like my question.
So what it means is actually for any sort of human rights abuse. So
Right.
literally, it doesn't stop at wars. It stops at any human rights violation, negligence of governments, epidemics, disasters. So anything that people feel the need to talk about or to portray the story, this is where testimonials go under. So that's
Wow.
yeah. The
So you're
second,
giving people a platform to speak up.
yes, absolutely. It's an online platform where people around the world,
Amazing.
Lebanon, being from here, it gave me the opportunity at home. And then the goal is to actually expand to the rest of the world. So
Amazing. I think, I'm not sure, but I think you're cutting.
is it better? Am I back?
I think you're cutting. You are back, definitely. I'm not sure if it's cutting off because of my internet or because of yours, but it doesn't matter. We're good. So you're saying the
The
second
second,
initiative.
yeah, the second part of the platform of Truth Be Told is the opinions and editorials. So mainly, when you graduate from any major, you want to publish your work, but it's really difficult right now because when you're not known or you don't necessarily hold a PhD or a specific title, you're not
Right.
given the opportunity to publish your work on the prominent platforms. So we also created Truth Be Told to be this sort of platform where emerging and upcoming political analysts, and that doesn't necessarily have to be political analysts. You can write about any topic that's important to you, but of course it will be fact checked by our editors. It will be, everything would be like scanned and organized to make sure that what we're releasing is not something that doesn't make sense or that doesn't have any backing to it. So it's
Okay.
also a platform to allow people to publish their works. The third part of this initiative, which is the humanitarian part of it, is Helping Hands by Truth Be Told. So Helping Hands by Truth Be Told focuses on immediate assistance currently. The long-term vision, of course, is to continuous and ongoing support for communities experiencing disasters, any type of disaster, whether it be government, wars, human rights, any single situation that puts a community down. The goal is to stand by them and help the people get back on their feet. Currently, immediate assistance through food boxes and medical aid, like, or providing shelters for severe cases for people who don't necessarily live in the best conditions.
Right.
Check the page, people could see some of the living conditions of the families we
I've
help.
actually I've actually seen your page, and something that I appreciate a lot about what you're doing is the fact that you are very transparent with your work. And I'll get into that a little later because actually I'm going to get into it right now. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's relevant to what you were saying. So I was wondering if we could define a nonprofit, and let me tell you why. I personally am very skeptic about, like, anytime I hear this is an NGO, this is a nonprofit, I'm so skeptic, especially that they're in Lebanon. I'm sure many people can relate. I'm sure you can relate. So this is something I really appreciate about what you're doing, is the fact that you're extremely transparent with your work. You're just putting it all out there. You have nothing to hide. So if you could, given what I just said, could you help me better understand what a nonprofit is? Could we define that, you and I, real quick? Yeah?
So I'm not going to give you the book definition of nonprofit. I'm going to give you the definition that I work upon, and
Great.
maybe the values and ethics of Truth Be Told as a nonprofit.
Great.
So
Let's do it.
Is an organization that's not necessarily attached to the government, that doesn't sell any goods or services. So they're providing essentially their service or the platform or whatever they're doing for free. Okay?
Right.
People ask, how do nonprofits have money, or how do they make money to maybe sustain their initiatives, or to maybe also provide a salary for the people who are dedicating their lives day and night?
Right.
And this is what I'll explain. So a lot of the help that comes for the humanitarian initiative of Truth Be Told, it comes either from, at this point, my pocket, my savings.
Wow.
Or, it comes from small donations from just any person here and there, but no specific organizations, no political affiliations, no country affiliations. It's just small donations from people who believe in the cause. However, as a nonprofit, you can apply to funding from like larger, I guess, larger funds, provide specific funds for nonprofits. This is where eventually, if we do get this type of funding, if we apply for it and they approve what we're doing, what we're working on, they also audit us to make sure that every penny we spend, where it's going, what we're doing. So we have to be meticulous about our expenses and what we're doing, and keep every single receipt, because it really does matter, you know, right way. Then this is the way eventually nonprofits could get salaries for the people who are permanent workers, who dedicate their whole life to it. But a nonprofit is sort of giving a service or providing, it depends, there are different nonprofits. Some of them provide services, some of them provide platforms, some of them provide assistance, but it's doing it at no cost to the public.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for clarifying, because honestly, I'll be honest. I never trusted most of the nonprofits that I've heard about, or that have crossed in front of me. Now I do know that there are several that are probably what's the word I'm looking for? Like, probably good. You know, it's just the fact that we deal with such a situation of corruption, I feel, in the areas or in the country that I'm currently in, that we don't get to see the highlighted good parts of that whole industry. And so to that I say thank you for joining me to clarify that idea that I have, because I'm sure many people relate.
I just want to say something on the side. It is very important to always be skeptical and meticulous, and you do have the right as a citizen, as a person who supports, even if you support morally, not through donations, in any way that you support, to ask. You have the right to ask where the money is spent, or how the funding is attained, and what it goes to. This is the purpose of transparency, and this is one of the main ethics and values of a nonprofit, actually. So you can ask, and anybody can ask, and usually the properly functioning nonprofit would give you all that, you know? So it is you should be skeptical. It is very important.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I felt like I was maybe doing something wrong for being skeptical. So thank you for that clarification. It's
important to give questions, because that's how you get answers, you know?
It's true. That's true. All right. Yara, are you ready for the true or false segment?
I am ready for the true or false segment.
Let's do it. All right. Simple, true or false, no explanation. All right. Just true or false. Are you ready?
I'm ready for this.
All right. So Yara, you have been living in Lebanon for 3 consecutive years.
False.
You used to live in NY and LA before you came here.
True.
You have studied political sciences at NYU.
True. Different titles, but true in this
What,
domain.
so please clarify, what is it that you've studied? You already mentioned, but I want to pinpoint what it is that you've studied.
Global affairs, international relations and global futures, transnational security, human rights and transitional justice, and international law. That's a whole.
Wow. All right. All right. All right. That's a whole that's a nice load. That's a beautiful load. I'll give you that. Good on you.
Thank,
Good on you. You inspire me.
thank you.
All right. Yara, you have 7 tattoos.
False, more.
You have more? I was going for a high number. I thought you're crazy. How many do you have?
They were 12, they became 10.
Okay, all right. All right, we're moving on from the whole tattoo thing. Yara, my last question in true or false is Lebanon is in need of more people like you.
True. And like you,
Thank you.
like
Thank you very
every
much.
life, really. There's good people out there. And
You're
there's
right.
people who will make a difference. You just have to believe in the cause, or at least support from outside, but believe in your friends, believe in this generation that's going to make a difference, really.
Honestly, I appreciate the light when you talk about that because I know that I and several people have lost hope to a certain extent. So knowing that someone that used to live in the United States, in New York and Los Angeles, come to Lebanon to make a change is just, it does sound pretty crazy to me. And I appreciate the dedication and the support that you're giving your fellow Lebanese, better yet, your fellow human beings in your community. So thank you. I really appreciate what you're doing, Yara. Keep going. And you inspire me. You inspire me a lot. I'll give you that.
Honestly, it's the support of you and other friends that push me every day, that are there by my side, even if not necessarily in the field, but give me the moral support. This is what keeps me going, honestly.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I was about to ask you anyway. So what inspired you to start your nonprofit and what is currently giving you the energy to continue?
So I'll tell you, I'll take you back to 2012, the last year of high school. My mom actually supported my crazy idea of me wanting to write about the economic situation in the south of Lebanon after the July 2006 war. And instead of just supporting me to write about it, we waited till my dad traveled so we don't get in trouble, and we went and stayed in the south of Lebanon for me to do the interviews. We went to the borders of Israel. We went
Wait,
all
wait,
over
wait,
the.
wait, 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 wait. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. All right, I'm gonna cut you off. Let's restart. Slow
Yeah.
down. This is an interesting story. Let's take it step by step. So you went to the borders of the South to do what exactly?
So my focus at the time was the living conditions and the wellness and welfare of people in the south of Lebanon after the July 2006 war, because that was the region that was at that time.
Right.
So my focus was to see how they were able to recuperate, how they were able to move on, how they were able to stand back up on their feet and, move forward instead of staying in the destruction. So
Right.
actually down to the south and we conducted several interviews, though I was still 17 at the time, several interviews from high-level officials to journalists to Red Cross to just people who were affected by the bombings,
Right.
to literally just get a feel of what was happening and maybe get facts of what really happened and how people were able to recuperate and move on. So
Okay.
this was where it started.
Okay.
Uh, I moved to Lebanon when I was 11, but I didn't really understand the situation and the climax of things happening in this country until I became a bit older and I became more aware of what's
That's
happening.
interesting. I had no
So
idea. I thought I completely forgot that you didn't like your childhood was out of Lebanon and then you came here. We met in school and I actually remember you running for class president. I actually ran too, but I don't think we ran against each other. I ran against someone else.
different
The
classes.
other, we were in different classes, but anyway. So yeah, I had no idea that you used to like your childhood was out of Lebanon, and then you. So now I understand somewhat your this beautiful genuine connection that you have to this country. It's just I find it so weird. It's crazy.
I came here and the culture, the traditions, the history, I didn't find this connection anywhere else in the world. There are so many beautiful countries in the world, don't get me wrong. Every country has its history, has its people, has its culture. But, you know, in Lebanon, you knock on a stranger's door, they welcome you in with their whole heart. They give you everything they have.
It's
In
true.
every street you walk down, it has a history. It has a story behind it. Every building, every village even has its little things that you won't find anywhere else. I just fell in love with the people and the goodness of Lebanon, and I realized that we can coexist and we can build a greater Lebanon without being tied necessarily to um, the wrong political foundations that they established for us. I don't want to say anything differently,
All
but
right.
the foundations that were established, instead, we should focus on a unity, on a nationalism,
I
on a
love that.
people. And this was my focus. And then in my undergraduate at the American University of Beirut, I met one of my greatest professors. He is really my guru, I guess, or my life
Your
consult,
mentor.
my
Right.
mentor, somebody I look
Yep.
up to, Dr. Ahonis Gugjian. I'd like to mention him because truly he impacted me. Because of him, I decided to go into post-conflict communities and transitional justice. He taught me the importance of nationalism. He taught me the importance of belonging. And maybe this is where I learned to belong to Lebanon, to belong to the people, to want to do something that will hopefully set the stepping stones to a better country for everybody, and hopefully to be able to give an example to other countries around the world to be able to implement this, because there's no reason. You know, when I look at our generation, we really have a lot of love in us, a lot of goodness in us. We don't have this there's the good days, the bad days, the good people, the bad people, but we don't have this natural born hate that a lot of the older generations come with because they lived through wars, or because they lived through racism, or because they lived through different times that were very difficult and stressful, you know?
I
We,
know. I'm a bit taken by the way you're speaking because it's good to hear such things. I'm being so honest and like talking heart to heart right now. I felt like I completely forgot this feeling that you're describing to me right now, like this sense of belonging to this country because of all the things that have happened. And honestly, it's people like you that bring back the light to people like me. And I'm so
thank you.
thankful and so grateful for this interview, Yara. And you know
Take care.
what? God bless you and keep going. And I'm so thankful for your mentor because I think because of him, I'm understanding how you feel towards Lebanon, which will somehow help me feel better about the country I'm currently in. So thank you. I appreciate you.
My mentor, he really pushed me to go after my dreams. Dr. Hannes told me, you want to fight for Lebanon, you want to go for it. He told me, don't let anything stop you. And I guess this is what pushed me to move forward, that I can do it. There's no reason for me not to do it. Other people were able to do it for their countries. People are still doing it. Why can't I do something for the greater good, for my country, for my
It's
people?
true. And you're taking action, which is very important. Yara, so many people are waving at you, sending you hearts. People are
Okay,
commenting.
but
Um,
thank you for being here and watching us.
Amazing. Yara, I want to ask you if someone has a question for you, would you mind if they drop it in and then we can maybe tackle it
So welcome.
together? De, de, sorry, I didn't catch you. Could you go again?
Transparency all the way. Any questions are more than welcome.
All right, awesome, awesome. Doreen tells you exactly people forgot the belonging, and I think this is what you're doing, Yara. You're somewhat creating a sense of belonging again for me, which scares me because I don't even know. I'm not going to continue with my sentence, but it does scare me, and I appreciate that it does because it means that I feel something towards it. So thank you. I'm going to go on with the next question. Are you ready?
I'm ready for the next question.
All right, all right. So this is a question. I'm going to ask you this question, and then I'm going to comment with you about what I think. So I just want to know, do you think that every individual has somewhat of a duty to give back to their community?
Okay. Can I answer a bit of an extended answer, or just yes or no?
Whatever you want. No, no, no. You definitely no. Give me your genuine, honest opinion. I'm here to talk to you. We've got all the time. I want to hear you out because what you're doing is essential and very important to me, and I'm sure to this country. So please do share.
So I do believe everybody has a duty to give back to their community, but I do believe everybody gives back in their own way. So maybe my duty is on the ground. Maybe other people's duties is the moral support. Maybe other people's duty is to represent, let's say, their community outside. So everybody doesn't necessarily have a duty that's the same. We have a duty to give back because this is what we do our whole lives, even if we don't realize it. Everybody out here, with whatever they're doing, whatever they're studying, whatever they're working on, whatever, anything that they do is giving back to this world because everybody's existence does impact somebody else. Even if it's just one person, you are giving back. So yes, it is our duty, but we all have a different duty. So my
All
duty
right.
on the ground with the people. I really do want to make the world a better place. And I believe in the fight and I believe in what I'm working for. So call me crazy. My parents maybe never expected me to just tell them I'm back for good this time. Deal
Dude,
with it, you
I
know?
I'll say something flat out, but before I do, Doreen, thank you for the wonderful comment to Yara and I. Yara, I thought you were crazy because about a year ago, when the pandemic had just started, like 2, 3 months into it, you and I were on a phone call. I think you were in Los Angeles, I believe. You had left New York, and we were conversating about how I'm coming to see you in the States. And then all of a sudden, I think it was 3 months ago, I get a phone call, and it was so dear to my heart because I think I was one of the few people that knew that you were coming. I think you even surprised your family, I believe. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
I was coming back.
Yeah, so I thought you were coming for a little vacation, and I'm like, okay, so I got to see you, because after that, I'm going with you. Like, I'm leaving. But then here I am, and here you are. So I'm quite surprised, if I'm being honest.
Um, honestly, since I left Lebanon before to continue my master's degree in New York, I always came back. I always found something pulling me back here. And I don't know why my parents would tell me, leave, why are you coming? Go, find your future outside. What are you doing? And I always felt a certain pull to here. So I told them in the end, I did what I need to do outside, but my purpose, my place is actually here with my people, fighting for their rights. And maybe this time I have a different approach. Maybe my approach right now is on the ground, hopefully, um, though we don't talk politics, but I believe to change, we have to change from within. And this
Absolutely.
may not necessarily come from the protests at this point, but it may come from encouraging people to vote for the right representatives. Doesn't necessarily have to be me, but somebody who truly represents them and truly represents the Lebanese population as a whole, not just their specific village or their specific sect. So this
All
is
right.
what I believe.
Thank you for not going into politics too much with me, but also I appreciate what you just said because it is somewhat our duty if to voice out what we want or at least try. And for me, going back to the statement or the question I asked you, I do believe that we as a human race or we as people have a certain duty to give back to our community, whether it's on the ground, whether it's whatever it is. Giving back is essential, I believe, because honestly, I do think we're all blessed and we all do get a lot out of the universe, out of God, out of whatever it is that you believe in. I think that we do get a lot. So it's not only a duty, it should also be somewhat of a rite of passage to pass on or to help other people. And you're right, change does happen from within. So I completely agree. It doesn't have to be on a global level, but if we each focus on our inner change, many things could happen. So thank you. Thank you for that. All right. All right, Yara. So we're gonna shift the conversation a little bit about initiatives, okay?
Okay.
I just want to ask you a question. Feel free to just lightly explain or give your opinion. How can we draw a line between or explain the difference between what a nonprofit is and an initiative? Because the reason why I'm asking you this is because about 7 months ago, I actually initiated an initiative that it was a nature-based, community-based, nature-based initiative, and it happened for about 1 month, and then I had to go back into work, so that was put on massive hold. But personally, I do have a vision, futuristically, hopefully, to start my own initiative or foundation or whatever it is. So maybe you can just clarify a little bit. What is the line that draws the difference between an initiative and a nonprofit?
Okay. So both initiatives and nonprofits have a certain goal
Right.
that towards. However, one has legal accountability, whereas the other doesn't necessarily. So the nonprofit, once you're registered, you have a legal accountability to uphold specific bylaws, to uphold specific country laws, depends where you're registered in. Each country has different laws for its nonprofits, but you have more of a legal obligation to things. And if you decide to put your nonprofit on hold, there's actually a legal dissolution you have to go through. Whereas an
Right.
initiative start, though you would have moral and ethical obligations as an initiative, you don't have the legal obligations as a nonprofit. So there is no necessary follow-up or necessary like documentation or necessary like processes that you have to go through in order to be established or in order to even dissolve it or put it on hold. So
So no legalities.
this is the difference essentially, because truth be told, before was an initiative. And the
Yeah.
work doesn't necessarily change. My transparency doesn't necessarily change, but I have more accountability in a legal level towards the government of the country I'm operating in. So there would be more speculation on what's being done. And of course, we have to be transparent about every single penny that's spent or every single thing we do. We have to have specific bylaws and a structure that we have to abide by. Whereas an initiative, you could have your structure and your bylaws within yourselves, but you're not held accountable necessarily towards a legal institution, Ministry of Interior, for example, which is where
I
you would
see.
register Lebanon, for example, if you had a nonprofit to register.
Okay, I see. I see. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, Yara. I need your 100% focus right now.
I'm focused. I
All right, right, Yara. I need to get ready for this. Can you say, are you focused before we get into it? Are you focused? All right. So I know that you lived in New York, and here's a quick tongue twister for you. I need your 100% focus.
focused.
All right. Can you say, unique New York, unique New York, you know New York, you need New York, you know you need unique New York?
Unique, unique, unique New York, unique New York. You know New York, unique New York. You need New York, unique New York. Something,
All right,
something.
close enough, close enough. I'll be honest, I've practiced on this so much, so just even doing what you just did, full respect. Full respect, Yara. All right, all right. Yara, so please enlighten me a little bit, or enlighten everyone with us tonight. I know that that Helping Hands is an initiative under Truth Be Told. Is that correct?
Correct.
So just real quick, what is Helping Hands? What does Helping Hands do, or what is the initiative that it is?
So the Helping Hands humanitarian founded by Truth Be Told. Basically, at this point, it provides immediate humanitarian assistance to communities in crisis. This crisis could be after a war, after a disaster, after an epidemic, natural or man-made, after government negligence, after human rights abuses, anything, anybody that needs help, we're trying to provide this help in the form of food boxes, shelter, water, and medications right now, in order for these communities to stand back on their feet and continue with their lives as normally as they possibly could. So this is the basis of this. However, the long-term goal actually is to establish a foundation for my hopeful goal for Helping Hands by Truth Be Told is to establish a foundation that would help reintegrate people into society, whether it would be teaching them technical things or technical subjects that could help them find jobs easier or whatever it could be, but sort of a way for long-term integration, not just short-term assistance.
Right. I
They
like
say,
that better.
they say if a man is hungry, don't give him the fish, teach him how to fish.
I'm gonna
So,
stop you right there. I love
like,
what you just said. My co-host consistently says that, and she's with us just now, so beautifully said. Great timing. Thank you so much for that, Yara. Absolutely. If a man is hungry, I'm gonna say if a woman is hungry, teach her how to fish. Don't just hand her the fish. So I just
exactly.
got a little feminist moment right there. But
Any human.
All right, any human, exactly. Exactly. Moving on. All right, so Yara, how can we, as in people that are not part of any nonprofit or any foundation, add value to what it is that you are doing?
Okay, so as I explained, we have three different platforms for Truth Be Told: the testimonials, the opinions and editorials, and helping hands.
Right.
One would be by sharing. The easiest way would be to share the work of Truth Be Told. This is
Okay.
charge and everybody could share. Um, that's the best way to support your friends, honestly. The second way would be actually to contribute either your own testimonials if you experience any traumas in life, or even if you want to write about a specific topic that means something to you, that you deeply care for, you can do that for the opinions and editorials. And of course, after processed by the editorial team, you would be published. So we are definitely always, we have a call for submissions that's rolling always. Testimonials, photographs, people who are great in photography and are at specific events like protests or anything, and they'd like to shed light on it. We also love to publish their work. We have a media gallery for that. Or there's through Helping Hands. Helping Hands, people can either donate their time, donate medications, donate food, or even do monetary towards it. It's all transparent, of course, but that would go towards mainly the Helping Hands part of the initiative, which would be
I
help
think
far more in
I
need.
think I'm gonna take an initiative right now, and I think I'm gonna contribute to your Helping Hands initiative because I genuinely believe in it to the point that I have never allowed, and I'm never gonna allow any politics on my show. And this is the most political, let's say, the level of politics that is happening right now is the most I will be going at with you because I really do believe in what you're doing, and I thank you again for this wonderful dedication you have towards your people. It really, I don't understand it, but thank you for shedding this much light.
Actually, you did quite a great contribution by hosting me tonight on your show because you gave me the chance to talk about Truth Be Told and perhaps reach a wider audience or tell people more about it because I don't necessarily get to have a sit down with everybody who's interested about Truth Be Told. So maybe this is the way we get to explain what's happening and what we're doing. So I really appreciate you. You're the first person
Thank you.
who, so this is truly something special, and this is truly a
Thank
huge
you.
one for Truth Be Told because you're giving us exposure. So thank
It
you
is
for this.
it is my honor. Like actually, it's my biggest pleasure to host you, Yara, and thank you for allowing me to give back somehow. So thank you very much for that. All right. Um. So okay. Thank you for the clarification about how people can actually contribute to whatever it is you're doing. And I do encourage everyone to actually contribute or maybe even ask for your advice regarding what they could do separate from Truth Be Told to actually help give back this beautiful community that we live in that is in need of everyone's help and everyone's support. So, yeah, Yara, personally, I've seen your help firsthand. I refer to family to you, to your cause, to Truth Be Told, and I saw action being taken. I think it was the next day. So my question to you right now, so everyone could understand, what are the conditions or under what criteria would Truth Be Told take on a case to help a fellow human being?
So there's no conditions. Um, it's a bit difficult to take on every family, but we really don't say no to anybody who needs it because when somebody asks for help, they wouldn't be asking if they didn't really need it. So there's no specific criteria. There are limitations to maybe what we can do now, as truth be told, but we will find a way to help. And if we're not able to provide the specific help they need, we will hold their hand along the way and go to other organizations that maybe have a bigger outreach. I could give one example. There was one family who needed help. However, truth be told, didn't have the capacity. Somebody was living in a mechanic garage, and this is posted on the page. People can see the
I
living conditions.
saw.
Truth Be Told was able to provide food assistance and medical assistance for this person. And we got even a kind person who was able to donate bedding and a fridge. And this is just from
Wow.
one human. But the situation was much larger than this. So we had to reach out to other organizations who are more established and bigger to take action and help. But we did not leave this person. We stayed by them to get them more help. So there's no conditions. We take on every case, we take on every family. If we don't have the answer to what they need, we find a way to get an answer to what they need. So we do our best.
I appreciate you. You know, recently I've been seeing so many people that are less fortunate than I am, and it's these small reminders that make me realize how blessed I am. And to that fact, I say that it is a personal duty for me to be able to give back or do what I can, or even try at the least to give back. So what you're doing is amazing, and the fact that you're so transparent about whether like if you could help, you would, but if you couldn't, you wouldn't just let it go. You'd actually stay there for support, and then you'd redirect instead of being selfish and just keeping the glory moment for your organization, for your nonprofit. So that's amazing, Yara.
So to be honest, we don't do what we do for recognition. Even the social media pages that we have established now, it's just more to show people on a more global outreach level what we are doing. But it's not our main goal. Our work continues with and without social media, on and off the camera. We work day and night. We truly don't stop working. We don't differentiate between people. We don't differentiate between different areas or cities or villages. Truly, anybody who needs help, we're there to help. And as you said, if we're not able to provide the assistance ourselves, we will be with them along the path for them to get the correct assistance that they do need. Because when you're helping, you're doing it to better the person's life, not necessarily for a credit or for something like this.
That's true. That's true. There's a thin line between really helping or just wanting to help to take the glory moment or to take the credit. And thank you for that clarification. You're absolutely right. Yara, are you ready for another game?
I'm ready for another game.
All right.
This is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I like to keep our conversations light. I like to keep them interesting. Sometimes they could get a little heavy, but then other times I do wish and hope that my guests and people that are actually joining and watching us, our audience, can actually enjoy the show as well, because I do believe everyone should have a little laugh every day. So,
Absolutely.
are you ready? All right, Yara, let's do this.
So,
So,
I said everybody should have a little laugh every day. With all the sadness that I see daily, how do I remain positive? I put some really good music. I dance around in the morning, and this is how my day always starts with a smile and ends with a smile.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for that lovely energy. I appreciate it. I'll try to do that. I'll try to do that too. Why not? Why not? You know, I actually start my day just about that comment real quick. I try to use this technique that the second I open my eyes, I declare today's going to be a great day. I just declare it. And then stuff happens. So, yeah. There we have it. There we have it. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready for the game.
All right. Hear me out. The game is called Hack or Fact. All right. So basically, I give you a statement. It is either a fact or it is a hack. A hack is something that I've created. A fact is a fact. So, for example, if I tell you trees are green, you would say it is a
Fact.
right.
Fact.
If I say trees, fact. No, it's a fact. It's a fact.
Which cities?
All right, all right. I see what you're doing there. You're trying to make me loose a little bit. But okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. All right, Yara. So if I say trees are blue, you would say it is a
Hack.
right. All right. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The richest nonprofit is worth $73.1 billion.
Hack.
It's a fact. It's a fact. I know. It is crazy. It is crazy.
Which nonprofit is this? Please let me know.
I'm gonna
Be in touch with
you should absolutely check it out. It is called Novo Nordisk Foundation. It is an R&D foundation related to human development and sustainability of society. It is actually the richest nonprofit in the world. $73.1 billion.
After we're done, send this to me. I'm gonna reach out
I
to
will.
them. They might help
You
us
should.
out.
Definitely. Definitely. You should. It is an R&D foundation at the end of the day. They might even have funds or support you. So why not? I definitely suggest you do give it a try. You won't lose anything. You'll actually gain. You'll gain a lot. So I do encourage you. All right. Are you ready for number 2?
Number 2.
All right. There are 7,652 initiatives happening worldwide today.
Hack. Definitely much more.
Okay. That's true. It is a hack. It is a hack. I thought you were gonna say fact to that. I really wanted you to say fact, but anyway, I was like, come up with a good number. This way it sounds a little, a little reasonable. All right. Yara, question number 3. The Big Life Foundation protects over 1.6 million acres of wilderness.
Fact.
It is a fact. It is a fact. And the last part of hack or fact is, truth be told, and Yara Sayegh are going to be and already are extremely successful.
Fact.
It is a fact. It is an absolute fact. And I appreciate every single drop of success and your journey of success that you're sharing with us today. All right. So, Yara, I'm just wondering, how can people reach out to Truth Be Told, or can people reach out to Truth Be Told to volunteer or help, or are you also hiring? Just to clarify real quick for people that might be interested to maybe join your team.
Okay, so first people can reach out through either our Instagram, our Facebook, our LinkedIn, or our Twitter, or they could email us at contact@truthbetold.live. Okay? Sometimes it may be easier to reach out through the Instagram DMs or any way. We are always looking for interns. There's a lot of work to be done. For hiring, currently there's no full-time position available until we get the proper funding to give people the right salary they deserve. However, we do hire contractors on need-based.
All right.
Need-based. So let's say we have a translation that needs to be done from Arabic to English because we try to make our work more accessible. The person would be contracted for this specific job.
I love that.
So right now we work with...
I love that. So you're hiring freelancers, you're welcoming volunteers, you're also open to taking interns that are probably studying political science or anything related to what you're doing. So I really appreciate it.
Political science, because a lot of universities even have elective courses that people can replace with an internship. And because Truth Be Told is like on the process of being an established nonprofit, then we can actually sign off on their paper that they interned with us.
That's
and
amazing.
They can take credit for it. So even if it's not necessarily a payment, people could end up doing their credits with us and learning a lot, either from the technical aspect of things, because to run any organization, whatever its focus is on, there's a lot of admin work to it. And this is important for every single domain. You need to be good in the admin part of it, or it won't run. So people can intern.
You're back.
Okay.
You're
people
back.
can
You're back.
the admin things, or they can intern in the more humanitarian aspect of things. Also, we partner with other organizations that some of them have doctors, some of them have different type of aspects. So even videographer of Truth Be Told. So people in any domain can find something they're looking for with us and learn from it.
I appreciate that. I got you. So basically freelancers, you're hiring, you will hire freelancers to work on contractual projects with you. You are taking in volunteers, and you're also taking in interns. You may also help volunteers, interns, or freelancers in getting further knowledge or jobs through your personal network. So I really appreciate that. Thank you for that help. If you want to get in contact with Yara, hit me up or send her a message through Truth Be Told or through her Instagram. Amazing, Yara. Amazing. That is great.
Thank you, Karen.
All right, we're almost done. We're almost done. Yara, give me your best 2 tips, quick, short tips to someone that wants to follow in your steps or open a nonprofit. Quick, short tips.
First tip, make sure what you're doing, if it's an initiative like this, is something you're truly passionate about, because this is consuming. It consumes your whole life. And if you're not passionate about it, you won't go the full mile with it. I started before Truth Be Told. It failed the first time, but I didn't let that stop me. I decided to even try again. So you have to be, you need to be passionate about what you're doing. And the second thing is try to be as transparent as possible. And from the start, have all your papers and documents and everything just ready and prepared, because this is better for you, better for your image, and it makes your life easier while working.
I appreciate it. I love it. So be transparent and be passionate. And don't give up. Don't give up if you fail. Love it. Love it. Yara, this is my last question to you for the evening. And I just want to thank you one more time for this wonderful evening with you. I really appreciate you coming here and
Thank you for
conversating with me. All right. Yara, my last question to you is, how has starting a nonprofit and several initiatives under that nonprofit added value to your personal growth?
it taught me a lot of responsibility, first of all, first and foremost. Um, when you start something and when you are running it, you can't just leave it or abandon it on the bad day. So this taught me responsibility and commitment to my work. It taught me responsibility and commitment to the people that I'm working for or I'm helping or my country that I'm working for. You know, it's my duty to continue my work, and it's my duty to not give up, and it's my duty on the good and the bad days to keep standing, to keep moving forward. So it taught me a lot of responsibility. It taught me also that a lot of times I may be alone, but I know I do have the support of family and friends. I do have the support of the larger community. It taught me that people are truly grateful when you're transparent and honest about
That's true.
every family I help. They welcome me into their homes wholeheartedly. They want to know what Truth Be Told is about, and they support this upcoming generation of leaders and change makers. But it really taught me that you can't stop if things aren't going the right way. You have to always figure out a way to reach where you want. So I'm still learning. It's still the beginning of the long journey ahead. So you can ask me again and again later on what I'm learning, and each time there will be something new. But right now, I learned that there's responsibility. I learned not to give up, and I learned even if I'm walking alone, the difference that I will be making in people's lives, or the difference I'll be making for my country, is greater than the loneliness that I'll feel temporarily.
That's a good one. Damn. Wow. Wow. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Honest, I was not, I'll be honest with you, I was not expecting, I was expecting myself not to get this affected or emotional by by whatever it is you're delivering. Because normally on my show, I feel I'm much more, um, I feel like I'm much more directed in another direction. But tonight, I felt like you were educating me on certain things that I had maybe forgotten or not known initially. But I appreciate everything you said. I'm sorry, I went into my little bubble, but I appreciate it. Yara, we have a question for you from a fellow Lebanese that is out of Lebanon. And Mark, thank you very much for this wonderful question. So Mark's question to you is, what are the most impactful ways people living outside of Lebanon can help and address root causes, not just temporary relief? Thank you, Mark, for that great question.
Mark, thank you for the question, and thank you for tuning in tonight. There's a few ways. The first way, since you specified Lebanon, one thing that's very important, we talked about change within. So one way that's very important for the diaspora right now would be when elections come to actually vote, whether it means coming back to the country for municipal elections and voting, or whether voting in the embassies and the consulates outside for the parliamentary elections. But your voice counts. Truly, each voice counts, because if every person says, oh, others will vote, oh, others will vote, then nobody's going to end up voting. And the people who want to change for the better will end up not having their voice heard. So this is the first way people
Okay.
outside of help. And this is a way that won't cost people too much money, especially for the parliamentary elections. You can vote from outside of the country. So
Okay.
very important for everybody's voice to be heard. And this is my first recommendation.
Okay.
Other recommendations for people to help outside of Lebanon, and I'm not talking about Truth Be Told only, any organization, if you believe in their cause, monetary support is important,
I
not
appreciate that.
not just to run the cause, also for continuous assistance to the families we're helping. For example, there's only so much we can do with limited funds. So if there's continuous support from all over, we can do more for more people. But honestly, I stress more, especially for the diaspora, on voting, on having their voice heard. this is the utmost importance, because this is the only way we will change. Because
Yara, thank you. You're right.
thank
You're right. No, go on, go on. You're right. I'm agreeing with you because I should vote too. Jesus, like I'm saying it. You're right. You're right.
matters. Karen, every voice truly matters. And if we do want to see change, unfortunately, right now, maybe protesting is not reaching the level of awareness that we'd want it to be. So your voice will come from a different way, from voting. We have to try every method before saying that, oh, nothing will change. So let's try this time voting for the right people, voting for the people that will truly represent Lebanon as a whole, and not just represent their specific sect or region, but truly and wholly represent all the Lebanese people.
Okay. I would like to add something to whatever you just answered with Mark's question, and also insist. I do believe monetary value or bringing in monetary value to Lebanon is essential, whether it's supporting transparent NGOs, nonprofits, or initiatives. I think it is essential for every Lebanese or non-Lebanese that is willing to help.
Willing and able.
Willing and able, of course, willing and able. But I would also like to shed light on something. I think that there are so many Lebanese products in Lebanon that could be somehow exported out of Lebanon that could bring in revenue to this country, whether it's through NGOs, private entities, or whatever it is. Preferably, sure, NGOs or initiatives. And maybe, I'm going to say this live, but maybe we could do something about that, you and I. We'll talk about that separately. I would love to get into that with you. But yes, I do encourage anyone and everyone to support our beautiful country because, yeah, we are in need of each other. And, yeah, we should support our communities so that we can heal.
Even by sharing the initiatives, not necessarily just monetary donations, but sharing. Letting your friends around the world know what's happening, it's important. Word of mouth is also important because to shed international recognition on the situation inside any country or any community is what will also get outside talk happening. More people will be aware, so more accountability could be held towards governments that are abusing their peoples. And this is important for any community, awareness. This is the most important thing, to have awareness. So yeah.
Someone said we have so many resources and so much talent, and it's true. And you know what, Yara, you just shed light on something. I also think that people living out of Lebanon can bring a lot of value by spreading awareness, just like you said, and also by helping you or other initiatives and other nonprofits by networking for you, by helping growing your network and bringing in maybe essential elements that could help you reach where you want to reach or bring value to our community. And with that said, I think I don't have any other questions for you, Yara, but I do leave the floor open to you for a final comment in case you would like to finish off this beautiful evening. The floor is yours, Yara Sayegh, my beautiful friend.
Thank you, Karen. I would like to thank you again and again for hosting us as Yara and as Truth Be Told. I told you, and I'm going to tell you again, you're the first platform who interviews us officially as Truth Be Told. And this is very important to spread the word, to spread what we're doing, be transparent, to be able to talk to people who I don't necessarily have access to on a daily basis, and just sort of shed light on what we're doing for this country and what we can do for the world later on. Because Truth Be Told is not just something that can be done in Lebanon. Truly, it can be implemented in any community around the world. We can adapt it.
And it will be. And it will be. I'm confident it will be.
And I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for everybody who tuned in as well. Honestly, if I could say one thing, have hope that things will get better. Have hope in the people who are working for change. Support them. Represent wherever you belong. Represent who you are. Represent what you believe in, wherever you are in the world. That's it. Honestly, there is no reason not to live in a great world, especially our generation. We're a generation of up-and-coming leaders. We're a generation of tolerance, of love, of patience, of acceptance. This is our generation. So I believe we can make a change, and I believe we will make a change. We just have to keep supporting each other.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Yara, I don't even want this evening to finish, but we're just gonna have to let it go for tonight. But I would love to host you another time on this show.